Anyone who has participated in some level of competitive sport knows the nervousness or anxiety levels that are felt before a game. As shown in this clip, these American hockey players in the movie Miracle exemplify somatic and cognitive anxiety, with some athletes having the sweats, shakiness, and worries. My name's Lindsay.
And I'm Jake, and today we are here to talk to athletes about anxiety being an asset to your athletic performance.
Anxiety is an important psychological state of individuals that contains two components. Trait anxiety is a perception of certain environmental situations as physically or psychologically threatening, and state anxiety is a perception of a specific situation associated with worries and apprehension. Competitive trait anxiety is a critical subject for athletic performance. Pre-competition anxiety is the feeling of anxiety-related symptoms due to competition and is common among a variety of athletes and sports.
According to the journal Relationship Between Mental Skills and Anxiety Interpretation in Female Volleyball Players, several studies show the way an athlete views their anxiety symptoms prior to competition can have a significant effect on their performance. If athletes interpret their symptoms as facilitative, tend to perform better. A generalized statement about anxiety is that it is viewed as nervousness and tension associated with activation or arousal of the body. The study we chose to investigate was the relationships between task cohesion, self-efficacy, and competitive trait anxiety in college team sports, as well as the relationship between these variables and some demographic features of the athletes, including age, gender, and sport age. The sample consisted of 230 athletes from 12 different varsity teams, 156 of them being male and 74 female.
By using the group environment questionnaire, the generalized self-efficacy scale, and the sport competition anxiety test data was obtained, resulting in significant differences between male and female groups in competitive trait anxiety and self-efficacy perceptions. Research found that both state and trait anxiety in sports can be effective in individual performance in unique ways depending on the skill level. The Sport Competition Anxiety Test, SCAT, was used to measure the competitive trait anxiety levels of athletes. SCAT has items scored on a 3-point scale ranging from 1 rarely to 3 often. The scores range from 10 to 30, representing low to high anxiety. Respectively, less than 17 is a low level of anxiety, 17 to 24 is average, and more than 24 is high. SCAT demonstrated sufficient reliability in this study with an alpha coefficient of 0.72. Results of the present study show that athletes of the female gender have significantly higher competitive trait anxiety perceptions than athletes of the male gender. The other result demonstrated that male athletes have a significantly higher self-efficacy perception than female athletes. In other words, male athletes have higher self-efficacy and lower competitive trait anxiety level than female athletes.
Jake, when scouts came to come watch you play when getting recruited to the University of Windsor, did you feel more anxious before stepping on the court?
Definitely when scouts come out to the bigger games, it's definitely more nerve-wracking before the game. I like to try and go and kind of rein myself in before I get back on the court, but I think for sure it's more nerve-wracking before you get on the court than once you actually get on the court itself.
Do you think some cases of anxiety can be beneficial to your performance?
I believe if you don't let anxiety take over your whole day or before the game, that it can be very beneficial to your performance, as it can really get you in the correct state of mind to play the big competition that you're having, as well as get yourself more amped up for the game.
Zoe, what do you do to cope with anxiety or nervousness before a game?
Before the game, I listen to music like dubstep to get me calm and get me ready to go on the ice.
What are some tips for other athletes to help cope with anxiety?
Listen to music before the game, think positively, and imagine yourself in a game scenario being successful.
In conclusion, the multidimensional anxiety theory, or inverted U theory, states that as the intensity of somatic anxiety symptoms increases, sport performance should be enhanced until a certain point.